differences in the Bigfoot. One of the reasons why I video everything and is for documentation. Some are bored when they watch it and don't get to see a Bigfoot in every video. That's going to happen. I do have some very good stuff. I have been able to capture some good faces and some good activity, but you take that one particular video and any skeptic can rip it apart. So what you got to do is look at the big picture. Like I said, time usually tells. So you look at all of the activities, you look at all the evidence. You don't base your theory of a person or their work by one video. And that happens all the time with me. So, if you want to call me a crazy old kook, watch all my videos first. Good luck. There's over 460 of them right now. There's going to be more. Okay, Jane says, when you finally get the video or photos of a clear shot of a full-bodied Bigfoot, what are you going to do with it? Well, I haven't really got a full-body shot, but I have some spectacular faces where they've been peering out of the bushes and so forth. And that's really not my efforts. I go out and I run the camera and stuff like that. And if I don't directly see anything, then I really don't say anything. But the YouTube viewers and the Facebook viewers and stuff, they nail it. They find them. There are guys out there that go frame by frame and help me search for Bigfoot. They're kind of like my extended team. So I don't discourage anybody from pointing out a squatch blob or an optical illusion or any other thing like that, because I don't want to throw away anything. And that's what my Bigfoot face database is all about. I collect up all the faces and so forth of everything, and I put them in a pile. And over time, I start seeing the same face again or again. When that happens, excuse me, when that happens, basically the probability of that being an optical illusion or a squatch blob now becomes very high probability it's the real thing. For every match, we get closer to the real thing. So I don't discourage anybody for looking for faces or showing me anything. So it all gets put into my database. Now, I don't put everything on my website as far as what's in the database, because there probably wouldn't be room. So, I look at them. Anytime anybody says there's something there, I look at them. I will say this, though. Those people that are going to YouTube and saying, oh, I see a squatch blob at such and such and such and such, and I go there and it's not there, and the log that they mentioned is not there, then they are basically being a trollish type person. And I will put them on a list and remove the comment. And if that happens again and again, 3 strikes and you're blocked. That's all there is to it. So don't go trolling my videos. Don't go making false statements, because you will get caught. Okay, I'm back. I did want to make a comment that yes, if I got a full body shot and or something like that that was really important, I would probably share it. I share all my faces and so forth on my website in the Arizona Face Database. However, there would be some caveats. One might be if it's going to give away the location of the Bigfoot. No, I probably would not show that, simply because I will not endanger a Bigfoot clan or his habitat to satisfy mankind's curiosity. So more than likely I'd share it with y'all. Okay, back to back to questions. Jane says, is it possible to give us a list on your website of the equipment you need and where it can be obtained? Well, you know, when I started out I had nothing but an old tape-type Panasonic handheld video camera. Didn't do a very good job, and I've been trying to basically upgrade as I go. This is a very good question and a good suggestion, and the answer is yes. I will build a page on my website that shows what equipment that I would like to have. It's a kind of like a wish list, so that people that might want to help out can do so. Fundraising is a bear, and a lot of people think that there's a lot of money in it, oodles of money, that I make oodles of money. This is not so. I spend a whole lot more than I ever would make. So fundraising, you know, when money is involved, it has a tendency to raise suspicion. And, you know, to tell you the truth, I would rather earn my keep. That's why I try to raise funds through videos, DVDs, books, and so forth. You know, I really hate asking for donations. But if you want to send me some equipment, that's quite something different, because that still helps the cause, but there's no money involved. Equipment does run, it is costly, and it wears out very quickly when you're using it in the field. I've gone through probably a half dozen cameras since I started. I go through $70 worth of batteries, you know, flashlight batteries on a weekly trip. So yeah, and then there's wear and tear on your vehicles, there's food, there's lights and all that kind of stuff. It runs into a lot of money. Again, yeah, I'll do it. I'll put up a list, you know, of things that would be helpful, and possible suggestions where you might be able to get it. And if you have a used one, I will take that too. So, you know, if you got something that you're no longer using, send it to me. I'll put it to good use. Cindy says, do you think Bigfoot have learned behavior to avoid us, as if they think we will harm them? Well, yeah, that's obvious. Man shoots everything they don't understand. Of course, there's always the natural fear of a predator that can reach out and kill from a distance. I worry about that myself. But, you know, they witness that each year in the fall when the hunters go out and hunt deer and elk and so forth. So they know what man can do. And sometimes humans, they basically shoot and ask questions later. You know, if they think it's a big old bear or something like that, sometimes they don't even identify their targets and they just shoot. Well, that's why I wear red. And one of the reasons why is because I really don't want to get shot while I'm in the bushes. And yes, I'm in the bushes quite often. So that's one reason. I'll get into the reason why I wear red later on. And there seems to be some kind of something further than just fear of predators or fear of being shot. There seems to be an enmity between Bigfoot and humans. It's almost like a taboo trait, or maybe a religious thing that is taught from generation to a generation. to avoid, man. They're bad. You know, of course, some of us are not. Some are good and so forth. But I don't know what started it. Could it have possibly been a feud between Bigfoot and mankind, or competition, or maybe it was a curse? You know, something like that. I don't know. Any indication that they might also build some kind of underground layers with many different hidden entrances to avoid detection? Well, they do seem to dig. But they don't seem to dig all that much. I mean, they do use what's available to them. They dig foxhole type diggings under tree roots or root balls. I have found a grave, so I'm pretty sure that they do dig graves and they bury their dead. No, there wasn't a body in it, but the tracks and stuff that were left around it, we pretty well know that it wasn't a human that dug the hole. So they also seem to dig animal pitfalls, not big huge ones where the animal falls in and falls on bungee sticks or something like that, but something that they can run the animals through an area and they step into a hole that's big enough to break their leg or something like that. Disable the animals so that the Bigfoot can finish them off and have them for dinner. Digging implements seem to be limited to their hands and sticks. And some of the pits that I've been around and that I've looked in, I find these short sticks, like they started out like long sticks, but you know, going through the digging and chopping, it snaps it or breaks it off, so they become shorter sticks. So it's indication that they do use sticks to dig. I don't know if they'd ever use a shovel or not, if they had one, but you know, their digging is limited. Do they dig elaborate tunnels and stuff like that? I haven't found any yet, so don't know. Do they? However, I do know that they will cover some of their dwellings or their pits or whatever with branches, tree limbs, and so forth.